So this video is going to be quite similar to the one I made yesterday. I accidentally labeled it wrong. I meant to say why Indian food is bad for white guys, white people in general, and also, you know, this was also for the females. If you happen to eat spicy food and you're a white female, you know. I ate way too much spices. Okay, so you know, I live in this house behind me here. I'm renting a room. You can see here, see where my finger's pointing, where the curtains are closed. That's the room I'm staying in. You know, so there's 6 people staying in this house. All right, and 3 of them are Indian. Okay, so India has got a big influence, you know, in this household. You know, there's more Indians living here than there are Irish. Okay, so you know, they were saying, why are you eating such bland food? Why don't you add some, you know, spices or pepper or salt to your food? And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna try that out. All right. So I was like, all right, I'll add a little bit of pepper, and you know, they're like, oh no, that's not enough. Add more. And I was like, Jesus, it's a bit extreme. Yeah, I did that. I listened to their advice, and you know, I paid the price, big time. And you know, I just feel like, you know, the food I wasn't digesting the food because I was eating too many spices. My body didn't know what to do with it, and yeah, so I think I had digestion issues, and I wasn't digesting the food I was eating. It felt weird. I was like, geez, I'm eating so much food, and after a meal it feels like I haven't really eaten anything. I'm like, what's going on? I couldn't figure out in my brain. So I was like, oh, I'm not eating enough. So I started to try to eat more. I even started eating McDonald's food to try to get the calories in, you know, because I work at McDonald's. If you work 7 hours or more in a shift at McDonald's, you get a free McDonald's meal. So I was going for the double quarter pounders with all the beef, the high fat beef, the cheese, trying to get the fat in, the fries that are drenched in oil, and Fanta as well, which is probably just shite, you know. It's, I don't know, I don't really think you don't get any benefit from drinking Fanta, to be honest. So, you know, I'm not like Dirty Nutter saying, oh, sugar, eat Sprite and Fanta. I don't think you get, like, I don't think it makes you fat, but it's still not good, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, and I learned this the hard way. I caught a cold, and I was kind of thinking, wait a second, this is the first time I've been sick since I quit veganism, like a year and a half ago. Like, what's going on? This is a bit unusual, you know. So whenever I catch a cold, I don't just say, oh, right, that's fine, everyone catches a cold, I just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm like, what, I've done something wrong, I made a mistake, what did I do wrong? And I was thinking, maybe it's the spices. Maybe the spices made me sick. And then, you know, my friend, you know, which is wrong, I asked the Indian guy living in this house about the spices making me sick, and he said, one thing they do is they affect your digestion if you eat too much of them. And I'm like, yeah, maybe that's it. I hasn't been digesting the food well enough. So, yeah, Saturday, had some spices. I was like, right, after that, no more spices for me until Wednesday night. My mother asked me if I'd like, you know, a Bombay pantry, which is like an Indian takeaway, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. So I did that, and you know, I paid the price. I was like, you know, once a week is okay, but no, it's not about one meal a week. Me having that one meal affected me for the next day because my digestion was shit, you know. And I think, you know, this is Friday now, and my digestion is still not the best. I feel like I haven't really been getting enough nutrients from the food I've been eating this morning for breakfast, and I just had lunch there. So, yeah, I've got to be more cautious and careful. Okay, so if you're used to bland food like I am, and you want to introduce spices, that's absolutely fine. But you got to be sensible. You got to just have a small amount. Like if you're starting running for the first time, you know, don't run 120-mile weeks out of nowhere. You know, you need to, especially if you've just been sedentary your whole life, you need to do small amounts. Like you could be maybe doing 15-20 miles a week starting out and slowly build up. Okay, same with spices. If you eat too much, you harm yourself. You need to small amounts. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just eat small amounts from now on. Hopefully I can get my digestion back on track. Hopefully I can improve. Do you know what I mean? I think my digestion has improved because I didn't eat any spices yesterday. I feel like, you know, it is getting better. And, you know, look, I think at the end of the day, I think, you know, nutrition is something that should be taken seriously. You know, your health is your wealth, as they say. Catching that cold, it was just horrible. You don't have much energy, and people just passively accept this. They're like, oh, it's cold, everyone catches cold. No, there's things you can do to avoid that, okay? And that's what I strive to do. That's what I think you should strive to do. Do you know what I mean? Health and fitness are not necessarily linked. A guy called John Lenihan, he was an Irish guy from Kerry, world mountain running champion in 1991. I read about him in the 1980s. He missed 2 races due to a flu. Alright, now if he was as healthy as he was fit, he would not have missed those races with flu. He would have never have got the flu, or even a cold. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, You know, but certainly if I had a choice between health and fitness, I'd go for health any day of the week. Do you know what I mean? But I do like fitness as well. So I'd like to have both. But at the end of the day, think of it this way: how much of your time do you actually spend working out? Maybe you spend maybe an hour working out, an hour and a half. How many hours a day do you live? 24 hours. You live every second of every day. So yeah, it's good to feel, so it's good to be healthy. Do you know what I mean? Because working out should only be like, you can't do it all day unless you're like a cyclist and they're just up to the gills on drugs. So yeah, that's my video. Careful with the spices. Digestion is very important. It's not about what you eat; it's about what you digest. That's a common saying. Well, it's not a common saying. It's very important. Do you know what I mean? Also, try not to eat too soon before going to bed, because and that can badly affect your digestion. People say, "Oh, you shouldn't eat too after 6 o'clock, because then you'll get fat." No, it's not about getting fat. It's about digestion. So I would suggest, giving it a very least 2 hours. Finish your last meal at least 2 hours before going to bed. At the very least, I'd say preferably give it 3 hours. And you'll be good to go. Okay, you'll be good to go. So, yeah, that's my video. Peace.